It's time for Mickey in the Middle. That's right, Mickey in the Middle time. Oh my, I need coffee, I need something to drink. I need something, because it's almost time for Mickey in the Middle. Do me a favor, as soon as you get here, check in. We make it a race every single night to make a comment. Don Ledger. Boom, dude, you were on this every single night. I cannot tell you how proud I am of you. Don Ledger with the gold medal. However, I do have an update. And some of the standings, still on a streak. Well, maybe you're not on a streak. Maybe it's a streak of one. Darla Bennett, how are you? Glad to see you guys checked in with me. Hey, everybody, do me a favor, check in just like Don and Darla had. Hello, Susie, with the... Let's see, that'd be first, second, third. That'd be the bronze medalist. Congratulations, Susie. How you doing tonight? Everybody make sure you check in. Hello, Greg Meyer. How you doing? Just off the podium in fourth place. We're going to have a great time tonight. So I've got an update that's going to be very, very interesting to the crowd that's already here. We're going to talk a little bit about... It is cold. We're going to talk about flags. Maybe not flags. Maybe a song. Then we're talking about airplanes, stereotypes. I mean, why keep it light and fun when we can get into stuff like stereotyping people that you don't know? We're gonna have fun anyway. Alrighty, so here we go. Right after Matt Ollie finishes up with this, we are on this. Here we go. Everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Mickey in the Middle. My name is Mickey, and this is the big show, Mickey in the Middle. It's the quintessential, I'm telling you, it's the quintessential show for Middle Americans, where all Middle Americans are welcome, despite any differences that we might have. All are welcome here. So, tonight I'm having a lot of fun. I've been working on med school applications and master's programs applications with my daughter, and you would be surprised at the number of questions and the variety of questions that people ask you when you want to go to school, and like med school or go get a master's degree in biochemical engineering or biomechanical engineering, medical stuff. I don't know. Here's what the deal is. All those smart kids that are getting out of college, we got to be thankful, number one, that we have smart people in the country. Number two, they're willing to go out and get an education so they can help the rest of us in our poor, pathetic middle lives. So, nothing special here. However, I do know some very unique and special people. So, without further ado, let me get to the first thing on the agenda today. Hello, Dwayne Terry. Welcome to the party. Hello, Mark Calcaterra. Greg and Maddie are planning the menu for this weekend. And here's what the deal is. They always do a great job by putting in little videos of Greg and his daughter, Maddie, so that people can see them in action in the kitchen. And it's absolutely beautiful. I encourage everybody to become friends with Greg and to watch that beautiful relationship as it moves forward. So I have an update. I hate to tell everybody this, but last night there was an error in the scoring on the live broadcast for who actually showed up first yesterday and made a comment. The way that it came across the screen in the live feed was that Don made a comment first and we declared him a winner, therefore giving him a gold medal streak of like 3 or 4. However, upon further review, it was determined by way of multiple Facebook posts. This is when I reviewed the film. Right down there, turns out that Darla Stewart Bennett signed in at 22 seconds and Don signed in at 24 seconds. So we're going to have to overturn the results of yesterday upon further video review. Congratulations to Darla Stewart Bennett for signing in first yesterday, achieving gold medal status, therefore breaking Don's streak of gold medal performances in the first comment race. on Mickey in the Middle. So congratulations to Darla yesterday for the gold medal. Congratulations to Don for the silver medal. But today, Don starts his streak again by coming in first with a comment saying hello today before Darla. So that are finishing gold and silver. So congratulations to our winners today. And as always, congratulations to everybody that came in third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, seventh, all the way through. So sorry, Don. You got... it broke my heart to come in there, but I just wanted to let you know I really appreciate every single one of you wanting to spend a little bit of time with me every single night. I really do appreciate it. I know that you guys can't make it every single night, but I just want to let you know that I really, really, really appreciate every single one of you, especially the fact that you would bless me not only with your time, but your comments. So if you hear me saying something, if you hear me would like to comment, I'll try to read as many comments as possible. If you think that I'm in error, if you think that I'm off base, please let me know that too, because this is how I learn and grow. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. If you've hung out with me for any time whatsoever, you know that I am not perfect, nor do I ever pretend to be. That's why, you know, today one of the things we're going to talk about is your stereotype. And forgiveness, and what do we do about the stereotypes that we all have about each other? Because we all have to put each other in a box, because that's the way that the mind works. So, what's the first thing on? Oh, winter is here. Winter is hit Arkansas yesterday. It came to Louisiana today. That means that it's going to be snowy, windy, and icy, and it's going to be an absolute mess. So everybody, please, if you're going to go outside, if you got to go to work, if you got to go pick up kids, if you got to get on with your normal everyday lives, please make sure that you are extremely careful out there. Slow down. Remember, cars don't stop on ice. They just keep going until gravity and friction kind of slow your cars down. So please do me a favor. Be easy on the brakes. Coast over bridges if you possibly can. Remember to stay off the... all of the stuff you learned in driving school and high school, do that. So other than that, stay warm, and if you need help, make sure you give somebody a call immediately. That way you don't find yourself in more hot water or more trouble hot water in a cold day. Make sure that you don't find yourself frozen like a popsicle when you wake up in the morning if a heater breaks or if your car breaks down. Can't we just all get on? Can't we all just get a trophy? Just joking. You're all winners to me, Greg. You're just all winners to me. I love that. Oh, and Darla says, yippee! There you go. It was rough here in Arizona, only 73 today. Don has got it good. He's living the high life out in Arizona. 73 degrees for a high temperature. Probably got down in the 50s. Perfect for motorcycle weather, top-down convertible stuff. So, hey, and remember, we have 50 different states and a whole bunch of territories that you are all welcome to go. So if you don't like the conditions of your state, pack up your stuff and leave. That includes all the politics, all of the taxes. That includes the weather, your neighbors, the neighborhoods that you live in. Don't be afraid to move. We got a great country. We got great people all over the place. So don't be afraid to do that. Okay, next on the list is Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, which is a basketball team. For those of you who don't know, Mark Cuban's a big basketball fan. He got $1 billion, then he went and bought a team called the Mavericks. He announced 2 days ago that they were no longer going to play the national anthem at their basketball games, at their home basketball games in the Maverick Stadium there. So, a couple of things about that really quick. Just really, really quick. The national anthem is my favorite song of all time. My favorite rendition of that happens to be Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl 30 years ago on the 30-year anniversary of the Super Bowl this year. And I thought she just knocked it out. I don't think that it'll be a performance that will ever be eclipsed because it was so doggone good. It was traditional. It was simply put, it was sung in melody, it was sang on key, it sounded big, it was absolutely beautiful, the best rendition ever. Ever since then, people have been trying to recreate a moment using the national anthem at football games, basketball games, at World Series, at baseball games. And I would like to point out, because I'm Mickey in the Middle, that it's very rare that we hear the national anthem. It's very rare that we hear the national anthem at any place other than a United States military event or at a sporting event. So they play it at NASCAR, they play it at baseball, they even play it at the Pee Wee World Series. They play it everywhere. They play it in all of our sports stadiums before high school football games, before high school basketball games, volleyball games. They play it all the time at sporting events. So I'm encouraging everyone to go out and play the national anthem prior to any other event that you might have. You can say the Pledge of Allegiance, you can sing the national anthem, but it's incumbent upon us to continue the history of what that song means and about our fight to gain independence and to recognize the fact that we celebrate freedom from oppression in our country. And it's about overcoming great odds. And it's a great song, hard to sing, difficult key. I once sang with a group overseas that we got a group together, and the whole idea was if we had a group together, we'd sound better, number one. But number two, if we lost a couple of people that were in the group, that we could still do functions, military functions at a deployed location somewhere overseas. So I showed up. And the person goes, hey, well, what part do you sing of the, what part do you sing? And I said, well, I sang the whole doggone thing from Oh, Can You See to the end. So he meant, are you a tenor or are you a bass or are you a soprano or what? And I was like, well, I'm definitely not a soprano because I've never been on TV and I don't know what a tenor is, but I do sing the entire national anthem as poorly as I do. So even if you have any type of an event, just sing the national anthem so that it can be passed on to the future generations so that everybody has one common thing that we can do. So anyway, I thought it was pretty piss poor of Mark Cuban to unilaterally just say, hey, you know what? We're going to stop the traditions that have been going on since the beginning of sports in this country, and we're just going to stop playing that. I don't know the reason why he decided that, but he is a private business person. So he can do whatever he wants inside of his own business. And he's perfectly legit to do that. As a matter of fact, I have gone to sporting events where they did not play the national anthem, and I did not miss it until later. I looked at whoever I was with, and I was like, did they play the national anthem? Because if you do a sporting event right, it's not required, it's not necessary to play a national anthem. You just start in with a thing, and the next thing you know, you don't have to have a color guard. You don't have to have anybody sing. You just go, hey, ladies and gentlemen, here are the two teams. Let's play ball. So, although it's not a prerequisite, it's not mandatory by anybody, Mark Cuban said that no more national anthem. Guess what happened today? The NBA came out and said, oh, we're going to have a policy where all the teams have to play the national anthem at the beginning of games. So they kicked Cuban to the curb and said, although I appreciate it, you signed up to participate in the National Basketball Association, so we're going to make all of our teams do that and just get rid of the controversy right now. Because you know what would happen? Half the teams would have had players protesting and the other half would have said nope, and the NBA kind of nipped that in the bud. But I'm going to tell you what, the possibility is still there because players are a very powerful union. They could go up there and go, hey, look here, that is racist. We don't like it. We think that is against the global economy. We don't like the way it makes people feel. So we are going to advocate against the national anthem. They could do it. Who knows? So right now, Cuban said no, NBA said yes, that's where we stand. So I'm assuming that the national anthem will be played at the Maverick home games. So Don Ledger said NBO told him it will be played. Cuban loser. Thanks, Susie. Thanks, Don. After having worked for the San Antonio Spurs for 13 years, that is awesome, by the way, Darla. I can easily state that Mark Cuban was one of the worst guests we had in our center. I am so glad that you said that. I've watched him on TV. I like a lot of his attitudes. I don't know him personally, much like I do not know Donald Trump. I do not know Joe Biden. I do not know Mark Cuban. I know you guys. You guys are my friends. So I can't speak to the character of anyone. However, the fact that he would do that kind of like puts him a little lower in my book, but it is his own private business. He can do whatever he wants, and I'm not going to stereotype him as a hater because I don't know his motivation behind that, so I just have to assume the best. So Mark Calcaterra says Cuban can suck an egg. Don Ledger said, hey, everybody's invited out to Arizona to hang out with Don. So, and the schools are closed in Cabot, Arkansas. There we go. So, whose decision is to determine when we do or do not play the national anthem? Well, the way that I basically have done things, anything I do, I try to find an honor guard and I try to find somebody to sing the national anthem. If I can't find somebody to sing the national anthem good enough, then I go ahead and just play it off of a record. I do that 4th of July for our fireworks. I do it at all of the sporting events and all the golf tournaments that I've ever organized or coordinated, and I do it at sports leagues if I have the opportunity. But, you know, it's up to you. Try to do it for as many events as you can. You can play it in your house. It's my favorite song. I have in my playlist. I have like probably 10 copies of it, and some of them are absolutely great. So, next thing, airplanes. Airplanes. So the federal government has said that they are thinking about forcing people to have a test prior to getting on an airplane and traveling in the United States of America. Way to go, government. Yay! You remember at the beginning of the pandemic thing, all the airlines got together, decided that they were going to improve their air quality inside of the cabins, make sure that they sanitize between each flight, make sure that they put in protocols to make sure that transmission of the COVID-19 virus was not a thing on airlines. Yeah, well, they did that. And as a matter of fact, they have tracked the effectiveness of their protocols through diligent study and research, and they have determined that 1.2 billion, that's a lot of people flying. 1.2 billion people have flown on airlines since the pandemic protocols went into place. Want to know how many people got infected off of that? 50. So 50 people out of 1.2 billion had actual provable cases of COVID-19 transmission due to airlines. And now the federal government is here to help. Hey, before anybody gets on there, let's use the facts and let's use science to go ahead and shove a thing up everybody's nose or do an anal swab to make sure that nobody getting on an airplane has the COVID-19, because apparently 50 out of 1.2 billion. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and ask that question. What percentage is 50 out of 1.2 billion? Here we go.
Yeah.
So what that means is, if you didn't get that, that would be 0.00004166. I can't even count up that high. 1 to the 4 100ths, 1, 2, 3, 4 100ths of a percent of people on airlines get the COVID due to stuff in the airplane. Yeah, let's use facts and science. There you go, federal government. Way to go. I'm really digging this new stuff. So anyway, apparently airlines are very, very safe to travel on. I know people that travel all the time in airlines, and none of them have gotten sick because of the airlines. Now, with that being said, I have to caveat that with you are in close proximity to other people, and not everybody's being as careful as they can be. So travel at your own. Assume your own risk level when traveling. I'm just saying, just be careful out there. But I just want to say thank you very much to the airlines for doing all of the work in order to make it safer. And thank you to the federal government for helping us out there. Okay, so let's see. What else we got? All right. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to my niece Tegan. She's now 16 years of age. Isn't that awesome? Happy birthday, Tegan. Love you. All right. So next thing is masks. Oh, this is my mask. Normally I have it on, but I thought it made me look a little bit stiff and stuffy. So I decided to take them off So I pretty much wake up in the morning, put this on so I don't forget it, and then I take it off right before I do the show. So I say that because this is one of those cloth masks that doesn't do anything. But what I have discovered is I believe that masks stop the exhalation and the distance that the COVID-19 can go. So even if you're breathing through something like this, it's going to slow down your breath. And it's really hard to spit really far if you're wearing a mask, right? Whew. So it doesn't matter. So anyway, what they've come up with now, so I wear a mask wherever I go out, and whenever I'm in public around people, I always wear a mask. However, now they're saying 2 masks do better than 1 mask, and 3 masks are better than 2 masks. So take that with a grain of salt. And the reason why I say take it with a grain of salt is the numbers for COVID-19 transmission are coming down in the country. And just like last year, when summer got here, I'm pretty sure that statistics are going to prove that as the vaccinations come on, as immunizations increase, and as the weather gets warmer and people get smarter, that the numbers are going to continue to trend down. So that's what my prayers are. I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I haven't researched it. All I'm saying is we went from 1, now they say 2, then they say 3 is even better than that. So I don't know. Do what you want to do. Just I report, you decide. I cannot make a recommendation to people other than to say my best recollection from reading everything is this is about breathing on other people. Am I right about that? I'm asking the question for those of you who may have researched more than me. Is this about breathing on other people? Because when you exhale, you have humidity and you have vapor in your lungs and in your mouth that when you breathe out, picks up particles and expels them into the air. And if that is the case, a mask limits that. And if you have 2, that limits that. So I don't go around people that don't wear masks. So I go in stores all the time. The vast majority of people are wearing masks. Except in one place I went yesterday, and I was like, whoa, ma'am, if you could please stand back a little bit, I appreciate you not breathing on me. And she was like, oh, what? And I was like, ma'am, I prefer you keep at least 6 feet away. She's like, well, you know that, I was like, ma'am, I'll leave if you can't back up. So anyway, she backed up, and then I got dinner, and yeah, I felt bad about that, but it happened. Here's the thing. Here's the deal. This is the deal. I still believe that personal responsibility is yours, and if you can stay home because that's what makes you feel best, then do that. But if you have to go out there, please make sure you got your bubble. And the single mask, double mask, do what's right for you, and do what's right for the people around you. Without any pressure from me or without any pressure from anybody else. I'm not a medical expert, but I know what is suggested. And by complying with what is suggested, it's not a bad thing at all. So if you do it, great. If you don't do it, I'm cool with that too. But I am always going to put myself in the best position, 1 mask, 2 masks, 3 masks, in order to protect myself and others, because that's the way that Mickey rolls. So happy birthday, Tegan. Thank you very much. Next to we'll be required to wear multiple layers of masks, maybe 20 or 50. Thanks, Mark. Happy birthday, T. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so last thing I want to talk about today is what are your labels? What are your labels? Have you thought about this? You know, most people, they read something and then they go, are they talking about me? Are they talking about me? When they write that, are they talking about me? I voted for Trump. Are they talking about me being a racist? Are they talking about me when they say the climate deniers? Are they talking about me when they say anti-vaxxers? You notice they very, very rarely use somebody's name. And then you have to think, are they aiming that at me? Are you a socialist? Are you a communist? Are you an Antifa? Are you anti-Semite? Are you anti-trans? Are you religious right fanatic? Are you religious fanatic? Are you one of those women-hating pro-abortion people? Because they don't ever come out and say your name. They only name a group that you might associate with or might think, and then they were like, you know, the religious right hates women. And then you gotta go, do they really? I happen to be a religious right woman. I hate myself. So have you thought about your labels? And the reason I'm asking about this is I'm trying to come up with some solutions for creatively pushing back on the labels and stereotypes that people lay on other people based on an opinion and associated groups. I use the religious right woman on purpose because they say that religious right women hate women and religious right men hate women. And it really baffles me because in the Catholic Church, in the Protestant Church, in the non-denominational churches that I have been in, I find that the furthest thing from the truth. Everybody's there to love each other. Everybody's there to support each other. Everybody is there to support people in the denomination, and everybody is there to support people that are not in the denomination, and they want to go out in the community and serve, and they do not care who they serve or where in the world they serve. And then to claim that they hate women is disingenuous and false and just a flat-out lie. So I'm looking for suggestions on how to fight back, not specifically for religious right women or religious right men, but for anybody that is labeled with any type of a stereotype. Did you know that I'm tech stupid? I have no idea what I'm doing with technology. I can't operate a cell phone. I have no idea about the internet. I have no idea about social media. I don't know how to tie my shoes and find the backspace. Yet I have 4 websites. I've got a store online. I've got my own show. The light comes on. I can't write a program, but I can pretty much do anything else. But I'm supposed to be the tech nerd because I was taking computer classes in college before I got kicked out of LSU Shreveport about 40 years ago. And everybody's like, well, you people are old. You guys don't understand the modern technology. What the hell are you talking about? We invented it. You would have nothing unless I was walking around with a box full of punch cards, which used to go into a punch card reader in order to write programs so that all the computers that you have now could be based on the language that we were writing back then called Basic C, Fortran, all of those things. We don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get technology, old man. Maybe I do. You don't understand the modern world. You hate the climate. Nah, I've pretty much seen 58 years worth of climate. I haven't seen much change. Except when I went to Los Angeles. Because when I went to Los Angeles, I used to fly over the mountains and go into California. It used to be covered with smog. As far as you can see, as far as you can fly in California. From Northern California to Southern California, it was nothing but smog in the late 80s and the early 90s. Wonder who cleaned that up? Do you think it was a 20-something? How in the world did California become this mecca unless somebody that was older than 25 years old had thought about that crap about 40 years ago? When they said we were going to have an ice age. See, I can only talk to myself. But because I have gray hair, I don't know shit. I don't know anything about social media. I don't know anything about the climate. I don't know anything about gay people. Although when I was in my teens, I was drinking in more gay bars and I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show more times than anybody under 40 years of age has ever been. I can't believe that the Rocky Horror Picture Show is like 35 years old. Let's rock on, Susan Sarandon and Tim Curry and Barry Bostwick. You know where that came from? That was Cards for Sorrow. Oh, here's the news. Newspapers over the head. Squirt guns for rain. Candles and lighters. Are you kidding me? I don't know anything about gay people. I'm transphobic. I guarantee that out of everybody that's watching this, I know more trans people than you. Unless you were actively involved with trans people, I know more trans people than you. I know, surprisingly, it's absolutely shocking to think that a 58-year-old man would be not transphobic or not against the LGBTQ community or be for women. See, it absolutely blows my mind how we label people because people keep labeling me. I don't know enough about the world. Well, I'm pretty sure that I was in the military and I paid pretty close attention to who are terrorists and who are not terrorists and who are friendly to the United States and who wants to kill us and who's talking to who. You remember that whole Bosnia-Herzegovina thing? That's right, I was there for that. You want to know the whole Iraq war thing? I was there for that. I know how to identify terrorists. I know how to identify good people. For God's sakes, I basically started part of the Iraqi Air Force with me and about 50 of my closest Air Force friends. But the stereotypes that they're laying on us is very tiresome. But I'm trying to figure out how to fight back without being rude, without being, dickish. By the way, I love that word. I apologize to everybody that might have cringed when I said that. And by the way, you should hear my favorite curse words. I do have some favorites. So anyway, the stereotype thing is they say something, they associate you with a group, but I need to know how to fight back. Because I have figured out what my stereotype is. So I'm going to show you this. This all started off because I had originally showed this article right here, the first and only African-American woman U-2 pilot shares her experiences. And it's a story about the National Museum of the United States Air Force near Daytona dusting off the U-2 and doing a story about that. So then I posted another article about her that I got from Patricia Shepard. And this is it. And Patricia's a friend of mine. And this article right here that she posted was about retired Air Force Colonel Merrill Tinsdale. And she was the first and only black female U-2 pilot for her. And I was reading this and it was absolutely fantastic. And it applies to every single kid that I know. I want every kid to know this retired colonel's story. Because it's about the story of success. See, we all start off in a different place. We all start off in a different hospital. We all start off in a different state. We all start off with different financial circumstances. We all have different skin colors. We all have a different religious belief. We all have advantages and disadvantages. We all grow up different. But the one thing that we can all aspire to is success. And along your journey to success, many things are going to come into your way depending on what your personal circumstances are. You could be poor. You could be like me and dyslexic. You could have failed every single math class and been kicked back and been called horrible names. You could not have been allowed in music class when you were in the 7th and 8th grade. You could have literally failed algebra in college 3 times before you found code word Heidi, who then got me through that so I could get a college degree. But whatever your personal circumstances, You cannot let the stereotype slow you down because somebody puts you in a box. It doesn't matter whether you're religious, whether you're not religious, what your skin color is, whether you're religious, or did I already say that? Whether you're heavy, whether you're skinny, whether you have blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes, it doesn't matter. What are you going to make of yourself independent of the stereotypes that somebody's going to label you with? Don't let anybody ever label you. Just don't let anybody label you, because as soon as you let people label you, and if you don't push back, you are giving them the power over you, and you do not deserve to have anybody in a position where they can exercise any power over you. So don't listen to stereotypes anymore, and please stop using stereotypes to describe other people, because they feel it too, and then they feel like they have to retaliate. So do me a favor, figure out what your stereotype is. Learn to overcome those stereotypes through great conversation, great explanation. Go out and prove those stereotypes wrong, and prove that you're just another American trying to make it in this world and trying to make something of yourself so that you can live a great middle American life where you can put a roof over your head, food in your belly, get your kids educated, and get them up into the great middle American life as well. So, with that being said, my daughter just called, so I'm going to split. So, let's go into this. Daniel. Hey, Danny. How you doing? Our culture accepted 2 lies. If we disagree with someone's lifestyle, we must fear or hate them. True. The second is if to love someone, we have to agree with everything they do or believe. Both are nonsense. If you do not have to compromise your conviction to be compassionate. Yes. Thank you very much, Danny. I greatly appreciate that. Greg Meyer says, we did not get to choose who will be gay, but we can choose to love unconditionally. Yes, I have a daughter and a niece that are. I'm not tickled pink to that, but doesn't challenge my love for them. That is what I'm talking about. It doesn't, you don't have to be somebody, you don't have to be, yes, you can support. The only way you can fight back is continue living in love. Thank you, Darla. The relationship is the only way of changing an opinion. Yes. The relationship. Oh, I wish I'd have thought about that. Our relationships are key to overcoming stereotypes. I pick up trans in my Uber all the time. Here's what the thing is. Yes. We are loving, we are caring, we're compassionate, we are reasonable, understanding people in the United States of America. That's what makes us great. To be labeled is just absolutely horrible. You should have seen the smog in the 70s. Dawn, I know. Horrible. So long as it... Greg, I'm not going to say that on there. Jesus was the first man who liberated women. I find that true of godly men too. Amen, Darla Stewart. Know who you are, believe what you believe, and stand for it. Don't fold. Thank you very much, Danny. By the way, great to see you. And I hope you're doing well. I don't agree with much of what's going on, but... I will comply by way of service to others. There you go. So that's it for tonight. Remember, Mickey in the Middle, Monday through Friday, every night, 9 p.m. Central, wherever I am and wherever you happen to be. Thank you very much for tuning in. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. I am really, really honored that you would bless me with a little bit of time tonight. I hope you had fun. I hope I was entertaining. And you got to remember, do me a favor. Live, laugh, and love. Peace, everybody. See ya.